Alrighty, this is a how-to of a variable LED light bar. How to install a light bar in your car and have it be variable, so you don't have to be blinded or you don't have to be in the dark. As you can see, it was a street glow package. I absolutely hate these damn crimped plastic packages, so I destroyed it. It's a 9-inch LED tube, and this is what it looks like before you molest the hell out of it. I've got this little connector that goes to an LED controller, and after you go and chop that off, you've got 7, I believe, wires. Now, through trial and error and deduction, these ones, white, orange, black, brown, and green, those are the negative for the LEDs, and this one little guy right here, yellow, is the positive. This won't hold true for every LED bar, but it does hold true for the Street Glow 9-inch LED tubes. Again, you can see the LEDs in there. Here's one that I haven't quite cut up yet. From Radio Shack this evening, I bought a 25 ohm potentiometer, whatever. It's got 3 blades. You can see solder on one of them. Those two change when you twist this. Those 2 blades right there are the important ones. So for this, you'd hook your positive to one blade to the LEDs. Now the next one, this little guy, say you hooked it up right there, this guy would go to your battery or another positive power source, preferably with a fuse. Then what you do, you drill out your dash a little bit, or if you're like me, or you have a dash with expandable switch placement. See, I've got a cruise control button there, and these two be used for a switch, or in this case, I can pop them out, drill them, put in that potentiometer, and I'll have a convenient location for my switch, or in this case, a dial which controls the brightness. These little guys work 1/2-inch control knobs with a 1/4-inch shaft hole with this particular potentiometer. However, this doesn't have a variable enough ohm range. It only goes up to 25 ohms, and you can't even really tell the difference in LED brightness or how dim they are. So I would suggest 1,000 that's variable in increments of maybe 50. That way you can actually adjust the brightness instead of just having them slightly flicker or dim. So the 25 ohm potentiometer will be going back, or in this case I'll keep it because it was only $1, and I'll be getting a bigger one tomorrow. So I've already saved someone the trouble of figuring out which is the negative and which is the positive. The yellow is the positive. Again, this only holds true for the Street Glow 9-inch LED tubes. There you go. Things you'll need to make this happen is a little wire stripper, or a knife, some crimps, 16-gauge wire. If you're not sure which of the 3 blades controls the ohm load, you have your negative and your positive, and this is a digital ohm multimeter. You want to switch this to 400, turn it on, and then you just touch them. Well, first you want to turn the dial all the way one way, and then touch them until you get a reading over here. Then as you twist it, as you twist this, that should change while you're holding contact to the 2 blades that you think control the ohms. and from there you can solder them up and connect your leads. Remember, 1, 2, whatever you're trying to control, and 1 from the power source. And then just use the chassis or another ground in the area. Just a little 40-watt soldering iron. You can also buy that at Radio Shack. Electrical tape, the caps, 2 of these LED light bars, or 1. My placement is going to be way up. You can't even see it, it's too damn dark. Way up underneath, you can see my placemat. Way up underneath the dash on both sides, so that it's not glaring in your face, it's glaring straight down. And I'll have my little control knob right here so I can adjust the brightness, so I don't blind anybody. And eventually I'm going to be putting an LED in there, maybe 2 or 3, all connected to the same little switch or potentiometer. And this is another little area right here. It's about maybe 1.5 inches. I'll be putting 1 in there or 2 in there as well, maybe in just a 3-inch little bar, and that'll give me light. Eventually I'd like to get underneath of my seat, or the driver's seat and the passenger seat, face down just like in the front, 2 6 or 2 3-inch LED bars all wired to the same thing. That way all of the accent lighting is controlled through 1 dial and nobody's getting blinded. It's all nice and dim while you're driving. Those are all the tools you need. Like I said, I'd get a 1,000 ohm variable resistor. It's actually what it is. It says wire wound variable resistor, 3 watts. There's basically no difference. It's ridiculously bright for my application. And here I'll show you. Let's see here. Negative. Oh, I have to put the camera down. Stuck in there. It's just flashing because it's not a very good connection. See how bright those are? I mean, it's not bright right now because all the lights are on, but you put it in a vehicle and you're not going to be able to see a damn thing other than the lights. And I'm not a big fan of absurd things. So there you go. You now know the coloring, which one's your positive, how to wire up a variable wire wound transistor, what you're going to need as far as hardware goes. And there you are.